How are you doing? My name is Christopher Brown, and you're now listening to my podcast, Sports Talk with Chris, and this is episode 36. Game 1 of the NBA playoffs is over. Man, there was some exciting games. Most of my predictions were correct. Some of them were wrong, but at the end, man, almost every single game was a close one. On Monday, you had the Nuggets versus the Jazz. The Nuggets won 135 to 125 in overtime, despite Donovan Mitchell from the Utah Jazz having 57 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists, shooting 19 for 33 from the field, 100% from the free throw line, 13 for 13, and 6 for 15 from the three. Joe Ingles also had a really good performance, something that he needed to been doing. 19 points. Gobert gave you 17, only 7 rebounds. Clarkson gave you 18 off the bench. Those were your only guys in double figures. Now for the Nuggets. Jamal Murray. This is the Jamal Murray I saw in high school. I saw in Kentucky that I knew he could do this in the league. 36 points, 5 rebounds, 9 assists, shooting 65% from the field, 66% from the three-point line, 6 for 9 from the three-point line. That's the Jamal Murray I know. The Jamal Murray that can get a bucket anywhere, that could get people open. Just one of the best scorers. He can be one of the best scorers when he's on in this league, especially at the point guard position. Jokic gave you 29 and 10. Michael Porter gave you 13 and 8. Grant gave you 19 off the bench, and Morris gave you 19 off the bench. Only guys in double figures. Craig gave you 11 points. Really good defense throughout the game. 3 for 5 from the three-point line. If he get hit consistently, that's going to open up the floor for them. He wasn't in foul trouble, though. He fouled out. But one of their best defenders, 21 minutes. If he can play longer, it's only going to help them. Now, in that game, man, like I said, Donovan Mitchell had 57 points. 57. Those are the type games he's going to have. That 57 points, man, is third most in playoff history. In the bubble, we're already seeing some legendary performances. I knew he was going to have a performance like this just to give them a chance without Mike Conley being there, the birth of his child. That's understandable. Without Bogdanovich being there, he had to have surgery end of the season. So you got 2 guys missing in this game 1. 2 guys missing in this game 1. So somebody's going to have to help scoring. Jordan Clarkson had 18, 8 for 17, from the field. 2 for 9 from the three. He got to be more consistent. Yeah, they needed those 18 points. But, 17 shots to get 18 points. It's not good enough. Ingles, 19, 5, and 6. 14 shots to get 19 points. 5 for 12 from the three-point line. That's good. You shooting over 40% from the three-point line. But you got to be more efficient. 6 for 14 is not cutting it. Usually, I label Donovan Mitchell as a gunner. Somebody that's going to shoot a lot of shots, and sometimes he's going to need a lot of shots to get his points. But today, he was very efficient. He just had no help. That's the sad thing about it, man. He had 50. He led the team in points, in rebounds, and in assists. Dude was very efficient out there. He needed some help. He got some help, yes, but they weren't efficient enough. They weren't. They shot under 50% from the field. They shot under 35% from the three-point line. Donovan Mitchell and Joe Ingles were the only guys that shot over 35%. O'Neal started small forward, 31 minutes, 3 points. They cannot cut it. Morgan, a guy that they started because Mike Conley wasn't there. 3 points, 25 minutes. That will not cut it. You look off the bench. 19 minutes for Zhang. 7 points. That's not going to cut it. 10 minutes for Bradley. He had 9 rebounds. But 0 points. Not going to cut it. Emmanuel Mudiay, terrible. I'm not even going to talk about him. 9 minutes, 46 seconds, 1 point. Dude, it's trash. But the Utah Jazz team is going to need somebody to step up to help Donovan Mitchell because he cannot do it on his own. Then you look at this Denver team. Jokic, 29 to 10. Shooting 11 for 21 from the field and 4 for 7 from the three-point line. Jokic came out the gate aggressive. Usually he comes out the gate, passing, looking to get his teammates involved, but that was not the case. The Jokic I saw was coming out the gate, like I said, aggressive, ready to score. That's the Jokic I need to see. Because he thinks, well, I don't know what he thinks, but I know some people in the league, that watch the league, think that he can't score. But I'm like, do y'all watch their games? And when he takes over, dude is a mismatch to opposing centers. He can put the ball on the court. He can shoot. He's crafty when it comes to his fakes. So it's like, when he's aggressive, to start out the gate, it's only going to help everybody else out. Then, like I said, Murray. I knew this Murray, man, ever since I saw him in high school, I knew he could do this on the big stage. I saw him in college. I knew once he got to the NBA, he could do it on the big stage. He just got paid a year or two ago. It's time to own up to that contract, and did he? 13 for 20 from the field, 6 for 9 from the three-point line. Those are the type games he can have on a regular basis. Dude can really score the ball with either hand. I know a lot of people say, oh yeah, go to the left. They can go to the left. But they're not as confident. Some people go to the left and still use their right hand. He'll use his left hand whenever. I seen him hit some crazy layups yesterday with his left hand. Not only that, his jump shot is beautiful. His form. Every time he shoots, it looks like it's going in. 6 for 9 from the three-point line. Those are games he can have regularly. He just has to be consistent. If he's consistent and Jokic is consistent, it's hard to stop them. And MPJ, he shot 5 for 13 yesterday, 3 for 7 from the three-point line. That's a good, percentage from the three. Shooting from the field wasn't that great, but he started off the first quarter with 8 points. Hit 2 pull-up threes. Once he just builds his confidence up, and learns when he can take advantage in the offensive sets, it's going to be a wrap. It's going to be a wrap because him and Murray are definitely the two most talented scorers on that team. So they can really go off for 50 whenever. Jokic is a talented scorer too, but in my opinion, Murray and Michael Porter Jr. are way more talented when it comes to scoring. So once he just get his consistency up, it's a wrap. Then you got Grant coming off the bench, 40 minutes, 19 points. He is going to get paid this offseason. He's going to get paid this offseason. There's no doubt in my mind. Dude has been balling this entire bubble. 2 for 5 from the three, 7 for 8 from the free throw line, 5 for 11 from the field. Dude has been balling. 19 points off the bench. Dude has been balling. If this Nuggets team can get consistency from their stars and their role players, it's a wrap. Because sometimes it's only the role players being consistent and the stars are having an off night. But for them in the playoffs, 2 of their top 3 scorers has to have over 25 points. Have to. Whether it's Jokic and Porter, whether it's Jokic and Murray, or Murray and Porter, out of those 3 guys, 2 of them have to have 25 to 30 points a night. They have to. And last night you had Jokic 29, you had Murray 36. But then they got guys scoring in double figures. That's why I like this Nuggets team. They got capable scorers, and they also have capable role players. This is going to be a fun series, but Nuggets took game 1. They took game 1. Mike Conley is supposed to be coming back by game 3. But without him, it's going to be tough for that Jazz team to win a game. Now also, Monday, game 1, you had the Raptors destroy the Nets, 134 to 110. Led by Van Vliet. 30 points, 11 assists. 8 for 10 from the three-point line. Dude was hitting. The whole team was hitting it. Toronto Raptors team shot 50% from the three. 22 for 44. And Fran VanVleet, had most of those threes. 8 for 10 by himself. Incredible. Kyle Lowry had 16, 7, and 6. The type of games you expect from a guy like Kyle Lowry. Siakam had 18 and 11. Didn't shoot that well from the field or the three-point line, but he got to the line 9 times. So he was still being aggressive. Anunoby gave you 12. Off the bench, Ibaka gave you 22. It has to be nice having a guy like Ibaka coming off the bench. A veteran that can do it on both ends of the court, can play the 4 to 5. It just has to be nice having a guy like that coming off the bench. He can end the game for you if he needs to. He can start if he needs to. I don't think Ibaka gets enough credit for the how much he contributes for this Toronto Raptors team. Now the Nets, they didn't win, but they're missing their stars. So it's like, how much can you really hold over them if they don't have their best players? LeVert had 15, 7, and 15. Great performance. Jared Allen had 15 and 12. Off the bench, you got Timothy Luwalu, a guy that played for the Sixers, getting 26 points, I'm sorry. Feels like everybody that played for the Sixers and left always have good games. Why we got rid of him, I do not remember. I know he was playing very decent for the Sixers. I, hope the best for him. Temple gave you 12. Harris gave you 19. But again, they're missing their star guys. So a lot of guys are playing roles that they were not playing and they're not accustomed to playing and will not play next season. They're getting more shots, but they're making the best out of the situations now. Their main role players that play a lot when their stars are there, they're all having really good games. All of them. So, can't be mad with this Nets team. They're fighting. They're playing their hardest without their star players. The Toronto Raptors won. And, I still think the Nets can pull out a game. But how it looks right now, the Raptors are on a mission. Now, the other game, the 6:30 game on Monday. The Celtics beat the Sixers 109-101. Led by Jason Tatum, 32 points, 13 rebounds. Jaylen Brown, 29 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. Kemba Walker, 19 points. Hayward, 12 points. The only guys in double figures. You look at the Sixers, Embiid, 26 and 16. Tobias Harris, 15, 8 and 8. Richardson, 18. Milton, 13. Burks, 18 off the bench. Whew. This game was a headache the entire game, me watching this game. I'm just looking, and I'm like, okay, Embiid had 12 points, right? First quarter, 11 or 12 points. Then he was not getting the same amount of touches. I don't understand. He got to the line 12 times, 8 for 15 from the field. He got like half of his touches in the first quarter, and after that, they stopped giving him the ball. Like, what are you doing, Brent Brown? I'm blaming it on you because there should be an emphasis in that huddle that, okay, we're playing through the big fella. No one on that court could touch him. I don't understand what's going on. We shoot 9 for 27 from the three-point line. Obviously, we don't have the type shooters you think we have. Richardson, 3 for 9. He has to improve that. Tobias Harris was 0 for 3. I'm going to get on Tobias Harris in a second. Embiid, 1 for 4. He shouldn't be shooting that many threes anyway. Fabo, 1 for 2 off the bench. Perfect. Burks, 1 for 3 off the bench. That's cool. But I'm saying, like, we're not a three-point shooting team, at least the way you design these plays for us. The actions you think you calling, these great actions, the Celtics know it as soon as we break the huddle. Whatever you're doing is obviously not working. We should be playing through the big fella. Embiid should be shooting over 25 shots a night. He should have been shooting that off the rip, even with Ben Simmons if he was playing in his playoffs. But since he's not playing in his playoffs, there's no reason why Embiid is not the leading shot taker. Josh Richardson has 17 shot attempts. Tobias Harris, 15. Burks, 15. Why is Embiid only having 15? He should have over 20. Like, what are you doing? Do you want us to win? I don't understand. Nobody on that court could touch him. They're big men. He dominated them. Whatever one they put on him. Barbecue chicken. It's not like Embiid wasn't playing aggressive. Every time he got the ball, he was playing aggressive, but he did not get the ball enough. 15 shots is not a lot. He needs to be shooting at least 25. At least. Because we're missing Ben Simmons. We're missing him. Ben Simmons was our best defender. Fabo did a hell of a job on Jason Tatum. Had him shooting. He shot about maybe 10 shots on Fabo, under 30%. Fabo was holding his own. It was like everybody else was barbecue chicken for Jason Tatum. had more than half of his points in the first half. We're missing that defense right now. We're missing another defender. We are. We're also missing his passing. Like, I'm sitting here watching the game, and I'm like, dude, none of y'all can pass, but y'all all trying to thread the needle. All try to thread the needle. Like, dude, don't try to make the long pass because that's not your game. Make a pass to the pass. Boston had 7 turnovers. We had 18. And most of them were on terrible passes. We miss him. We miss that playmaker that he was because we do not have a backup playmaker. Shake Milton, he's a scorer more than a passer. Neto, he should never touch the court. Burks, who's like our secondary ball handler, he's another scorer. We don't have no playmakers on this team. Al Horford, probably the second best playmaker other than Ben Simmons. Well, Al Horford plus minus was minus 18. He should not be starting against this Boston Celtics team. He should not. Especially tonight. I don't know what the Celtics lineup is going to look like without Hayward. My guess, they start Marcus Smart. That's what I would see. That's what I see them doing. They start Marcus Smart. And if they do that, Al Horford should definitely not be on the court. Dude, game 1 in this series, they had Kemba, they had Hayward, they had Brown, they had Tatum. They played with 1 big man in their starting lineup. Why are we playing with 2? Why wasn't Thibault just starting? Just start him. Because his job is to play defense. He's not coming off the bench to score, He hit open 3, he cut at the right times. He's learning his role in offensive end, but just start him so we don't got to worry about Tatum going off in the first half like he did. Because 21 out of his 33 points or whatever came out in the first half. Start the man. Start Thibault. Stop starting Al Horford. It was a terrible move to get him in the first place, And it's only showing when we go against a team that does not play with a 2 big man lineup. Like the Celtics. They do not do that. So bring Al Horford off the bench. He'll contribute way more coming off the bench than he does starting. I seen him get hyped because he scored, a putback layup. What are you getting hyped for, bro? It's not your fault that you're playing like how you are, because you're not being put in a role that help you succeed in LA and help you succeed in Boston. You're not playing that role. But off the bench, you can play that role more better. Al Horford is like a point center. He's the second best playmaker on this team when Ben Simmons isn't playing. But having him at power forward starting the game will not help him. It will not help us. He's not stretching out the floor. He's not another defender. He's really out there doing nothing, if you want to be honest. Game 2, he should not be starting. He should not be starting. Embiid needs to get more touches. And Tobias Harris, I said I'll speak on him. Dude, you're supposed to be the second best scorer on this team. We signed you to a max contract, which I did not want to do in the first place. And you're not living up to it right now. You have to be scoring at least 20 points. Should have been doing it in the regular season, but you definitely need to do it in the playoffs without Ben Simmons. 15 points on 15 shots. 0 for 3 from the 3-point line. Only 3 free throw attempts. That's not enough. That's not a max contract type of guy. It's not, And sometimes it's the, plays Ben Brown is calling, but sometimes it's the shots you're taking and not taking. Sometimes you're aggressive when you don't need to be aggressive, and sometimes you're not aggressive when you need to be aggressive. You're a max contract guy. You need to know when to get your shots up and when not to get your shots up. You need to know when to get the ball to the big fella and play off of him. Come on, man. We gave you this big max contract for you to have 15 points on 15 shots. That is not good at all. If we want to have a chance to win, you have to be scoring at least 20 points. You have to. It makes no sense why Josh Richardson and Alec Burks are tied for their second leading scorer. Now, Alec Burks, dude has been playing great since he got to Philly. And I remember him in Utah, he was doing his thing. Then he was getting hit with injury. Then at Golden State this year, he was doing his thing. He came to Philly, he's doing his thing. So keep doing that off the bench. You shot 6 for 15. I wish you could be a little bit more efficient, but you're coming off the bench. You're producing offense. I cannot be mad at that. Producing offense. Your plus minus is +3. You're producing offense. I just wish you was a little bit more efficient, but I'll take it. Richardson, at least you're being aggressive. You know, some of those threes you shot were forced. They were forced. But most of the shots you shot were really good shots. This is the Josh Richardson I need to see. Milton, your defense needs to improve. I know you shot the ball very well, 3 for 5 from the three-point line, 5 for 7 from the field, but your defense needs to improve, and you need to also be a willing passer. And I do not need to hear nothing you saying in the media. He said the offense was a little unorganized. Maybe some of the guys didn't feel comfortable passing the ball in certain situations. I can understand that. The offense is very unorganized. But at the end of the day, since you're the point guard in this lineup, you need to take control. Because for some reason, the Sixers thought Ben Simmons would be better at power forward when he's one of the best passers in this league, top 5 in assists in this league, but they thought he'd be better at power forward, so they wanted to have somebody else be the main ball handler, which is you, and you're not living up to that. You're not. 3 assists at the point guard position? Nah, can't do it. You need to be making some of these passes. You, Shake. I'm putting a lot of blame on you right now. Because you're not playing consistent in the bubble. Yeah, you had a good game the other day, but 13 points, you could score more, especially without Ben Simmons. We need everybody to step up, including you, Mr. Point Guard. Now, the last game on Monday, the best game on Monday, you had the Mavericks versus the Clippers. The Clippers won 118-110, led by Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, who both went off. Kawhi, 29 points, 12 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 steals, shooting 52% from the field. Terrible from the three-point line, though. He shot 1 for 7. Terrible. Paul George, 27 points, 2 steals, 10 for 22 from the field, 4 for 11 from the three-point line. As a team, the Clippers team only shot 34% from the three-point line. But you had Lou Will giving 14 off the bench. You had Morris gave you 19. You got Zubac giving you 10 and 10. Only guys in double figures. It was good to see Montrezl Harrell back into the start. Not in the start lineup. Back into the lineup. 14 minutes, 6 points. He's getting his legs back. Not expecting much out of him for at least the next couple of games. You look at the Dallas Mavericks team. Luka went off. 42 points, 7 rebounds, 9 assists. Kristaps, 14 points, 6 rebounds. I'm going to get to him in a second. Tim Hardaway, 18 points, 6 rebounds. Seth Curry off the bench, 14 points. The only guys in double figures. Now let's talk about this Kristaps Porzingis situation. What the refs did was uncalled for. I don't care if, they're playing by the rules. They're calling stuff by the rules in the playoffs. These techs should not be called. He got a tech for punching the air because of a bad foul call. If you want to be honest, it was not a foul. That was a clean block. A clean block. Kristaps got all ball in that block, but yet they called it. So he punched the air in disgust. He didn't punch you in the face, so what you complaining for? After he did that, all he had to do was get his emotions out. Would you rather him go out and cuss you out or punch the air and feel better for getting his emotions out? I don't understand how that's a technical foul in the first place and including the playoffs. For all that, he should have just punched the ref in the face. You feel me? Like, he punched the air and got a tech for expressing his emotions. It was a horrible call. Of course he's going to be mad. If he would have fouled him, he would not have been mad. He clearly got all ball. And then the second thing, he got a tech, Morris came in, pushed Luka. He went in. All he did was protect his brother. He didn't punch him in the face. He gave him a little shove. If y'all, quote unquote, calling stuff by the rule book, that everybody in that circle should have got tech and thrown out. Morris didn't get no tech. Luka didn't get no tech. All those players in that situation, if you're calling stuff by the book, should have got a tech. Like, what are y'all doing? Do y'all want to see the Clippers, in the Western Conference Finals, in the finals so bad that y'all going to call horrible things? Because the Mavs were on the verge of destroying them. They were on like a 50-18 run. The Mavs were going crazy before they did that foolishness. I don't understand how those two techs were called, especially the first one. All the dude did was express himself, and then he cleared it. He punched the air, then he was fine. For all that, he should have just pushed the referee or something, because I don't understand. As basketball got soft or something, it has. It's got completely soft. It's starting to get unwatchable. In the playoffs, you're going to dictate a game like that? Then I heard people say, oh, well, that didn't affect the game. He got thrown out in the third quarter. Well, Dallas Mavericks are one of the best offenses this year to ever play the game. Their single lowest scoring quarter was that third quarter where Kristaps got ejected. It obviously affected the game. You took away the Mavericks' second best scorer, 20 minutes, 14 points. When Luka was off the court, Kristaps is the guy that picks up the slack. Kristaps has been averaging 30 points in his bubble. So do not tell me that did not affect the game. The Mavericks were going to win this game. They were still in it without Kristaps. So imagine what would have happened if he was there. So please stop. The referees made a terrible call. And it cost the Mavericks this game. And it cost them a huge chance to win this series. Because the more I look at it, the more the Mavericks really do have a chance. I said it would go 7. And I had the Clippers. But after game 1, I don't know what to think. Because the Clippers got all these defenders and could not stop Luka. Could not stop him. Luka's a big body. Luka can shoot. He can get to the paint at will. What Luka said is easier to score in the EuroLeague than it is here. I can't say he's wrong because he always goes off no matter who's guarding him. Luka had 11 turnovers. About half of those were in the first quarter. You know, slipping. He slipped a lot. I saw him get 2-3 turnovers off slips. He got plucked a little bit. But after that first quarter, you know, he had a little ankle injury. He bounced back and went off. He went off. Luka's not worried about the playoffs. He won championships in the Euro League he was in. It's not a big stage for him. He's ready. Messed up a little bit the first couple of minutes and bounced back and was the best player on that court whenever he was on that court. Whenever he was on that court. Now for the Mavericks, I don't know what to say. I don't. Y'all played the best game y'all could have. You know, some dudes weren't hitting shots. I understand that. But at the end of the day, the refs cheated y'all to win. Somebody tell me anything different. Because the Mavs was busting them. Ever since the first quarter, right? The Clippers were up 18-2. Luka came out with that little injury. Things changed. The Mavs were the best team from that point on in the first quarter until when Kristaps got ejected. And they still had a chance to win. But the refs ruined that game. They ruined it. Like, why is the league so soft right now? He didn't punch nobody in the face, but he got 2 technical fouls. He gave somebody a little shove. If a little shove deserves a tech, then everybody, like I said, in that circle should have got a technical foul. There was no bad blood after that circle, after them little pushes. They broke it up. Dude, it's playoff basketball. Why are the referees dictating the game? It is disgusting. Like, the league really must have got soft or something because I don't know what's going on. I wish I saw 90s and 80s basketball because this basketball is just too soft for me. Too soft. Dude gets a tech for throwing a punch in the air. I remember when dudes was punching people in the stomach, punching people in the face, and the game was just going on regularly. Or they'd get suspended for a game. Not even. Dudes was pushing people. Refs, all they did was break it up. Especially in the playoffs. Ain't nobody fighting, dude. The referees think they got too much power dictating the game. Dude, y'all get on my nerves. Man. Refs cheated the Mavericks out of a victory. They did. But Monday games were amazing. First day of playoff basketball, and every single game was a thriller. Every single game was a thriller. Now after this ad, I'm going to tell you about, yesterday's games. Also thriller games. All down the wire games. And you had a blowout that nobody saw coming. Well, at least I didn't. Day 2, playoff basketball. Yesterday, we saw some really good games and some upsets. The Orlando Magic beat the Milwaukee Bucks 122-110. Led by Vucevic, 35 points, 14 rebounds. 5 for 8 from the three-point line. You had Clark give you 15. Fultz give you 15. Ross give you 18 off the bench. Augustine 11 off the bench. For Milwaukee, Giannis had 31 and 17 and 7. Middleton only had 14, 6, and 4. 4 for 12 from the field. Matthews only had 10 points. Brook Lopez only had 5 points. Bledsoe only had 15. Well, 15 is good. I mean, not say only 15. And then George Hill give you 16. So let's talk about this Bucks box score real quick. Middleton, 14 points, 31 minutes, 4 for 12 from the field, 2 for 6 from the three-point line. 4 fouls, 4 turnovers. Terrible game by him. He knows it. The team knows it. Terrible game by him. You got Brook Lopez, 29 minutes, 5 points, 4 rebounds, 2 for 9 from the field, 0 for 4 from the three-point line, minus 11 plus minus. Terrible game by him. Matthews, 10 points, 4 for 6 from the field, 2 for 4 from the three-point line. Type game you expect from Wesley Matthews. He's their two-way player. You know, Bledsoe gave you 15 and 5. Good game by Bledsoe. 1 for 5 from the three-point line. Cannot cut it, though. DiVincenzo, 12 minutes, 2 points. You know, 1 for 6 from the field, 0 for 2 from the three-point line. Cannot cut it. Hill, 16 points. Good game by him. Marvin Williams off the bench, 16 minutes, 6 points. 2-4 from the field, 2-4 from the three-point line. Played his role. But then you got somebody like Connaughton off the bench, 22 minutes and only scoring 3 points. That cannot cut it. Kyle Korver, 10 minutes, 6 points. Did his job. For these guys that's playing these high 15 minutes, high 20 minutes, and you're scoring under double figures, how is that going to help the Milwaukee Bucks team win? I know Giannis was pissed off because Giannis is going to do Giannis. Giannis also shot terrible yesterday, though. Let's not get that messed up. 12 for 25 from the field, under 50%. We're not accustomed to seeing Giannis do that. 3 for 7 from the three-point line. Hey, he's going to have at least one game that he's going to hit, but I'm going to let him shoot all day. He has to hit 10 in a row for me to step up. 4 for 9 from the free throw line. Got to fix that. But at the end of the day, 31 points, 17 rebounds, 7 assists. Giannis is going to do Giannis, but he needs everybody around him to step up. It's playoff time. Chris Middleton can't be having 14 points when you're an all-star. Brook Lopez cannot be playing damn near 30 minutes and 5 points. You know? Connaughton, 22 minutes, 3 points. The Bucks played terrible that game. Now, do we think they're going to play terrible for the rest of the series? I don't think so. Do you think so? It's no way, man. There's no way they're going to play like this the entire series. But for a game one, they came out very lackadaisical. And Giannis was not pleased. He was not pleased. You look at the Magic. The Magic are missing a lot of players right now. They're missing their best defender in Jonathan Isaac, which I think he would have did a great job on Giannis. He's tall, he's long, he's physical. You know, I'm sad that he messed up his knee because he has a promising career in this league. I cannot wait to see him healthy. You're also missing Aaron Gordon, another guy who would have guarded Giannis a little bit. 6'9", 6'10", power forward / small forward. Missing Michael Carter-Williams, another guard defender. They're missing a lot of players. But like I said, when I was giving my predictions for this series, the Magic play basketball the right way. They have 15 turnovers. You know, that's the most I've ever seen them have turnovers like that compared to the Bucks 16. You know, they had less turnovers than the Bucks, so that's going to help you. The Bucks, I don't know what's going on with the Bucks yesterday. I don't. They just were playing lackadaisical. And the Magic took all advantage of it. Vucevic went off. Vucevic is a guy who could have made the All-Star game year after year after year. He's a consistent 20 and 10 type of guy. So him going off, I don't know why people are surprised. I don't. And then their second best scorer, Fournier, only had 9 points. So what does that tell you? The Magic team came ready to play. They have nothing to lose. So they went off. This guy Clark, you know, Gary Clark only starting because so many players are injured. Giving you 15. You can only be happy about that. Shot 4 for 12 from the field, though. You know, 4 for 12 from the three-point line. He's there to stretch out the floor. Then you look at Markelle Fultz, a guy that I did not want the Sixers to trade. Because isn't it funny? The guy we traded him for, the main guy in that trade, is back on the Magic. So it's like we wasted Markelle Fultz, who would have fit perfect right now with the Sixers, but I'm not going to get into that. He's playing with the Magic, so let's talk about him with the Magic. 15 points, 6 assists. 6 for 11 from the field. Markelle Fultz is getting his groove back. He's not back to how he was playing in college, but he's getting there. He's getting there. He was very aggressive last night. Very aggressive last night. Terrence Ross, the guy who we traded for, back on that Magic, 18 points. You know, he's a guy that can go off whenever he gets hot. I remember he had 50 when he played with Toronto. When he gets hot, it's over. He did all that with no threes. 7 for 13 from the field, 4 from the free throw line. You know, do I think this Magic team can win the series? No. But as long as they play together, they play the right way, they don't turn the ball over a lot, they don't foul a lot, you know, things will go good for them. They're going to have to play through the big fella. But honestly, it's going to be hard for them to win any more games in that series. On the 4 o'clock game, Heat versus the Pacers. Heat won 113-101. Led by Jimmy Butler. 28 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 steals, 2 blocks. Bam, 17, 10, and 6, 3 blocks. Dragic, 24 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. Look at the Pacers. Oladipo got hurt first quarter. Only played 8 minutes. Had 4 points, got hurt. Scratched in the eye. Hopefully he gets better because dude fought his way back to get into the bubble. So I know it's killing him right now because he's been hit after injury after injury after injury for the past 3-4 years. TJ Warren gave you 22. Brogdon gave you 22 and 10. Justin Holiday gave you 10. Gave you 11. Jakar Sampson gave you 10. Only people in double figures. TJ Warren, you cannot be shooting 9 for 18 from the field. You know, you did shoot 4 for 5 from the 3-point line. But it's like Jimmy Butler really must be his kryptonite because he was going off all these games. But once he see the Heat, once he sees Jimmy B, dude completely is not himself. Now, he had a great game from the 3-point line. A great game. But I've seen Jimmy Butler out there giving him problems. He gave him problems. It's going to be hard for this Pacers team to win without Victor Oladipo. They only had 4 guys in double figures. 2 came off the bench. So they only had 2 guys in double figures in their start lineup. Miles Turner played 32 minutes, only had 9 points. I think he's scared of the paint. He cuts sometimes. You know, when it's wide open, but I never see him bang in the paint. He likes to shoot. He's a great shot blocker. You know, 3 blocks. But it's like, dude, go post up a little bit. A little bit. Just try it. You're 6'11", 250. Bam is 6'9". I know Bam is strong, but man, you want to at least try to post up. Without Victor Oladipo, you're going to have to be, you know, the 3rd best scorer on this team. Brogdon is healthy. Brogdon was 22 and 10. You know, shot terrible, but he was productive. It's going to be hard for this Pacers team to win without Oladipo. The best thing for them is to be scrappy, which they were, and play defense, which they did. Look at the Heat. Jimmy Butler had 2 threes. I cannot remember Jimmy Butler shooting 2 for 2 from the 3-point line in a while. Out of players who attempt 100 or more threes, he shoots the 3rd worst at about 24%. So for him to hit 2 clutch threes, am I surprised? Not really. Only because his confidence, he never lacked confidence. He never lacked confidence in the clutch ability. He never lacked that. It was just crazy to see him hit 2 threes. 10 for 12 from the free throw line. 8 for 15 from the field. Jimmy Butler is going to get his points at the free throw line. You know? He's not going to be a guy that's to jack up a whole bunch of points to get his, a whole bunch of shots to get his points. That's not Jimmy Butler anymore. Jimmy Butler is going to have to do what he does in order to help this team win. Harrell gave you 15 off the bench. He's coming into his own, man. Harrell's going to be a problem in this league soon. He's going to be a problem in this league soon. He only had 4 guys in double figures. Duncan Robinson, that's probably the worst I've ever seen him shoot. 2 for 8 from the 3. He's not going to have games like that. So, 4 for 8 from the 3. That's 6 more points. Game would have been a lot better for the Heat if he can hit his 3. If he can hit the 3-ball, game's going to be a lot better for the Heat. I know the score is 113-101, but it was closer. The Heat didn't break away to the end of the game. So they're going to need shooting from Duncan Robinson to help him out. They're going to need shooting from Kelly Olynyk to help him out. Other than that, the Heat are the Heat. They're going to defend you. They're going to play to their strengths. They're not going to play anybody else's game. They're going to play their game. And they played a hell of a game last night. Now, the Rockets blew out the Thunder 123-108 without Russell Westbrook. I did not see this happening. The Thunder offense, man, is so stagnant at times. It hurts them. They don't have a one-on-one type player like James Harden, like Russell Westbrook. They can get a basket whenever they want. Chris Paul had 20 points, 10 rebounds, 9 assists. Gallinari had 29. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander played terrible, 9 points. Dennis Schroeder played terrible, 6 points. Adams gave you 17 and 12. They only had 3 guys in double figures. That's not going to help them. And you did not need them to have their bad game without Russell Westbrook. Now the Rockets are thinking, okay, we won game 1. If Russell Westbrook's not fully healthy, we can let him rest some. Because James Harden, he gave you 37. Eric Gordon gave you 21. Tucker, 11. Green off the bench, 22. Ben McLemore, their best three-point shooter, he gave you 14. So it's like, Thunder. What are y'all doing? I had y'all winning. Y'all lost. Like I said, the offense for the Thunder was very stagnant. Very stagnant. Playing a lot of one-on-one. Chris Paul isn't a great one-on-one type of player. He's a great pick-and-roll guy. I don't understand why they weren't pick-and-rolling him to death. I know they switch everything. But go ahead and switch a smaller guy on Steven Adams and just dump it to him down low. And if they help, kick it out to a shooter. You can do pick-and-roll with Danilo Gallinari. Danilo Gallinari is a talented scorer. He's been like this since he was drafted, Went on, did his thing with the Knicks. Then the Nuggets. Then the Clippers. Now he's with the Thunder. Dude can get buckets, 2 for 5 from the third. 9 for 17 from the field. 9 for 9 from the free throw line. Dude can get his. But the people who you expect to get theirs, they didn't. 35 minutes. Shai, 9 points. 2 for 8 from the field. Come on, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. You're one of my favorite guys in the league, since Kentucky. Kentucky, I've always been a Kentucky fan. I like college basketball, but, I always look out for Kentucky a little bit more sometimes because they produce great guards. They do. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is just one of them guards who came out of Kentucky with a lot of promise. And in his first playoffs, he just did not live up, to how he's been playing this entire season. He didn't. He did not. So it's like, you're going to have to step up. When the Rockets are in their small ball lineup, you have to help take advantage of that because y'all can go small. But it's not going to help if the Rockets are the only team scoring and the Thunder aren't. The Rockets can go on an 18-0 run in a blink of an eye, shooting 6 threes out of nowhere. They're a 3-point shooting team. They shot 20 for 52. They don't care if they're going to miss. They're going to keep shooting. They're going to keep shooting. James Harden, 6 for 13 from the 3. Ben McLemore, like I said, the best 3-point shooter, 4 for 7. Jeff Green, 3 for 7. Speaking of Jeff Green can be a guy that can do this every single night off the bench, but he's never been consistent his entire career. He can really be their X factor off the bench. I know people talking about Eric Gordon, but Jeff Green being their quote unquote big off the bench, even though he's a small forward, kind of slash power forward, at 6'8", he could really be a difference maker. Because Austin Rivers, only had 4 points. He's not consistent. He hasn't been consistent his entire career. So it's like, with the Rockets, their second best player didn't even play, and they won 123-108. Thunder going to have to step it up. I did not expect the Rockets to blow them out like that. I thought that the Thunder was going to play better. There are 2 guys out of their 3-guard lineup. 2 of them didn't have double figures. Come on now. Dennis Schroeder, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, they have to play better if the Thunder want to even have a chance to win a game, let alone win a series. Now the last game, you had the Trailblazers versus the Lakers. The Blazers won 100-93. Dame Lillard, 34, 5 and 5, 6 for 13 from the 3. CJ McCollum, 21. Nurkic, 16 and 15. Melo, 11 and 10 and 5. Only guys in double figures. Melo, Mr. Clutch 3. Dude just hit some clutch threes, man. Dame did his thing. McCollum did his thing. You look at the Lakers. LeBron had a historical performance. 23 points, 17 rebounds, 16 assists. Anthony Davis, 28 and 11. Kuzma, 14. Danny Green, 10. No other guy in double figures. No other guy in double figures. Now for the Lakers. Where is all the help? Why are you only playing Dion Waiters, which is one of your best scorers, 1 minute? You know, that should not happen. That should not happen. Kuzma, 14 points, but he took 14 shots to get it. 1-5 from the three-point line. Terrible. Caldwell Pope, 29 minutes, 1 point, 1 rebound, 1 assist. 0 for 5 from the three. Alex Caruso, 29 minutes, 2 points. And then at the end of the game, he decides to jack up a three. Dude, that's not your game. I knew LeBron was pissed. Why is Dion Waiters only playing 1 minute? Why is J.R. Smith not playing? When your guards that are in the game are not producing. Danny Green, 2 for 8 from the three-point line. Play JR. Play Dion Waiters. Dion Waiters is going to get his regardless. LeBron, you need help scoring. Dion Waiters was going to help you. You need help scoring. J.R. Smith is going to help you. Alex Caruso, Danny Green, Caldwell Pope. Yeah, they could be quote-unquote defenders, but did they really defend anything? When Dame Lillard had 34 and McCollum had 21? So it's like, play your guys that's going to get you buckets. Because obviously the Lakers needed help scoring. The Lakers were 5 for 32 as a team from the three-point line. 15%. LeBron could have had 25 assists. He had 16, could have had about 25. The Lakers were 2 for 16 on catch and shoots. All passes by LeBron. 2 for 16. 2 for 16. 2 for 16. I understand people have off nights, but you're talking about guys who are only in the game purely because they can shoot. And they were 2 for 16 off catch and shoots from passes by LeBron. LeBron had 16 assists. Could have had, like I said, 25. J.R. Smith, Dion Waiters, they are the answer. 30 minutes. Basically 30 minutes Caruso played. Only 2 points. How is that going to help you? How is it going to help you? 23 minutes. Danny Green, shot terrible. 29 minutes. Caldwell Pope, only had 1 point. Morris, 18 points, 5 minutes. He did his thing. Another backup, big. Whatever. He did his thing. He did his role. Why is Dion Waiters? Why is J.R. Smith not playing? Quentin Cook not playing? These are guys who can be two-way guys, but who can all score. Who all can score. Like, I don't understand what the Lakers are doing. Do y'all want to win? Now, I knew the Blazers were going to win a game or two. And I had a feeling they could have won this first game because they have been in rhythm. They have been playing like it was their last game since they entered the bubble. So they're more on edge, They're ready. They haven't rested a lot. They've been playing at a good rate for the past 8 games. More than that. So it's like the Blazers, you knew they were going to be ready to go. They just all had a great game against the Grizzlies on Saturday. You knew they were going to be ready to go. What's up, LA? What's really good? Like, LeBron had a crazy triple-double. Could have had 20, 20, and 20 if the Lakers shot the ball better. AD, I understand you had 28 and 11, but you didn't shoot the ball good at all. 8 for 24 from the field. Yeah, you got to the line 17 times, that's good. But 8 from 24 from the field is not acceptable. 0 for 5 from the 3 is not acceptable. Now, you can say, don't trip too hard. They just had a bad shooting night. Well, they've been shooting bad since they entered the bubble. And for guys who are labeled a shooter, like Danny Green, like Caldwell Pope, like Caruso, where on offense, your main job is to be a catch and shoot type of guy, and you're not hitting, then there's a problem. For Kyle Kuzma, going off the bench, to have 14 shots for only 14 points, 1 for 5 from the three-point line, that's a problem. AD, okay, I know you're not labeled as a shooter. You were 0-5 from the three, but you got to the line 17 times. But like I said, 8 for 24 from the field is unacceptable. The Lakers shot 15% from the three-point line, 64% from the free throw line, and 35% from the field. LA has to fix this if they want to win. If they want to even get out this series, because the Blazers will put up points. And they're not that good defensively. That's the thing. Lakers were just missing a lot of wide open shots. The Blazers are not a really good defensive team. So that's the thing. I'm not worried about the Lakers right now getting out this round. But what happens if they go against a Rockets team that can go off and you have to keep up scoring with them? What happens when they go against a Clippers team or somehow Mavs or Nuggets? You know, a team that has good defense and good offense. What's going to happen then? Because the Lakers right now, man, I don't know what's going on. I don't. 5 for 32 from a team as a team from the three. Like, everybody has to play better. Even LeBron. Like, Blazers went on a 19-6 run at the end of the game. 19-6 run. How is that going to help? Even though LeBron was the first player in NBA history to have 20 points, 15 rebounds, 15 assists, could have had 25 assists. He could have shot the ball better. The Lakers as a team needs to do better. But am I surprised that the Blazers won? No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I went 1 for 3 yesterday on my predictions. You know, the teams didn't play up to their standards. Not today, Wednesday, 1:30. You got the Nets and the Raptors. Got the Raptors winning again. 4 o'clock, you got the Nuggets and the Jazz. I have the Nuggets winning again. Without Mike Conley, Mike Conley's not going to be back till they said maybe Game 3. So without Mike Conley, the Jazz are going to need some help. And the Nuggets didn't even play their best, and they still won. 6:30, you got the Sixers and the Celtics. I'm going with the Sixers because Hayward's not here. He's out for 4 weeks. I feel like the team knows that they have to give Embiid the ball. They have to give Embiid the ball. Let me reiterate this again. They have to, and I mean have to give Embiid the ball. I hope they use common sense and do not start Al Horford. You know. But with the Sixers, they just lack common sense. So I don't even know why I'm getting my hopes up sometimes. I don't. But I'm still going with the Sixers because without Hayward, they're going to miss, a guy who can get 20 whenever he wants. Getting 20 with the ball in his hands, not relying on nobody else. 9 o'clock, you got the Mavericks and the Clippers. I'm taking the Mavericks. Mavericks didn't play their best on Monday and still were close in the game. And without Kristaps Porzingis. They started the game terrible. They start the game like how they usually start the game. They're going to be fine. They're going to be fine. This Mavericks team can win this series. I had it going 6 or 7, but the Mavericks team can win this series. And the thing is, they didn't shoot the 3 ball that well. Finney Smith was only 1 for 5. Kristaps Porzingis, before he got ejected, was 1 for 4. Kebler, I hope I didn't ruin his name. He was 1 for 5. Tim Hardaway, 4 for 11. Luka was only 2 for 6. Seth Curry, he was 4 for 8. He did his thing. Gildress, I don't know, not Gildress Alexander, I'm tripping. Michael Kidd Gildress, he was 2 for 3. They only shot the 3 ball at 34.9%. They could get that up, they can win these games. It's just that simple. I have the Mavericks winning. Now, Thursday, you got the Heat and the Pacers at 1 o'clock. I'm taking the Heat again. Got the Thunder and the Rockets. I'm going with the Thunder. You got the Magic and the Bucks at 6 o'clock. I'm going with the Bucks. They're coming out with a vengeance. And 9 o'clock, you got the Lakers and the Blazers. I'm going with the Lakers. I'm going with the Lakers because, like I said, they shot 5 for 32 as a team from the 3-point line. Now, I know they've been shooting bad this entire bubble, But it was a lot of open shots. They have to hit. They hit 5 more threes, they win the game. They hit 5 more threes, they win the game. It's just that simple. They lost by 7. They hit 3 more threes, they win the game. But those are my predictions, man. Whew. This bubble, these playoffs, they're stressful. But it's great basketball. Can't wait to watch these games today and tomorrow. That's a wrap for this episode. Thank you all for listening. Man, game 1 was amazing. Hopefully game 2 can live up to the hype. Hopefully, teams can play better. Will we see some more upsets? You never know. But let me know if you think so. I think we're not going to see any. I think these teams are going to play up to their potential. They're going to come back with a vengeance and go crazy in game 2. But who knows? Let me know your predictions for tonight's game. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at sportsw_Chris. sportsw_Chris. Thank you all for listening. Stay tuned for future episodes.